above all else, I see a shadow on my stage. And so, no matter how you measure, it's 6 more weeks of winter weather.
Oh, my goodness. Happy Groundhog Day, everybody. Punxsutawney Phil, you hear it there, saw his shadow, which means 6 more weeks of winter. This year, the holiday, a little bit extra special. It's also the 30th anniversary of the classic Bill Murray comedy.
By the way, we should ask you this morning, are you ready for 6 more weeks of winter?
No.
Or are you ready for spring? Let us know. What's your preference? No matter what the Groundhog says. What do you want? Let us know.
What's that on your head,
Well,
Chris?
this is my annual Groundhog festivity hat. So, Boss Hog over here, and just really excited for the day because February 2nd isn't just Groundhog Day, it really marks the midpoint of winter. And that's why we have such superstition of shadow or no shadow, if it's nice out or not so nice, like what we have today.
Well, can you explain a little bit more in today's
Well, I think I can. With
Change clothes first. Change clothes first.
Okay, hold on. Let's do this. Here we go. Happy Groundhog Day, everyone. Every February 2nd, we look to one of these guys to prognosticate what the rest of winter will be like, to see if they see their shadow or not. But why? Let's find out in this week's Weather IQ. There are thousands of local groundhogs across the United States, but the first and most famous, of course, was Phil. And no, we're not talking about Phil Connors.
Punxsutawney Phil!
Since 1887, the U.S. has been looking to Punxsutawney Phil for his prognostication on what the rest of winter will bring. But the reason why we do this is because of a superstition and a day called Candlemas Day. This day celebrates the midpoint of winter, but the Germans were responsible how we celebrate today in Pennsylvania and across the United States. However, originally in Germany, they used a European badger as the animal that would cast a shadow or not. Badger Day or Groundhog Day are based on this folklore. If Candlemas be fair and bright, winter will have another flight. If Candlemas bring clouds and rain, winter won't come again. Simply put, if it's cloudy and there's inclement weather at the midpoint of winter, an animal will not cast a shadow. And according to the superstition, the second half of winter can only get better since the halfway point is so crummy. But on a beautiful sunny day, an animal will cast a shadow. And since it's so nice out, it'll be followed by a second winter, or simply 6 more weeks of winter. This strategy has not proven to be successful. Phil's success rate since 1887, he's only been right 39% of the time, and he's usually pessimistic, calling for more winter coming than spring. So enjoy the day that was made popular by these two Phils. I'm meteorologist Chris Mulcahy with WCNC Charlotte. And as our local groundhog, it's foggy and cloudy and rainy today. So I'm predicting spring right around the corner.
All right.
There you go.
Does your groundhog have a name?
It changes every year because I can never really decide one.
Mr. Hat?
Mr. Hat. Mr. Hat. Boss Hog is what Rusty, our director, named it this year. So last year I think it was Sebastian, so it's always a cycle going on. So good to have you again, my friend.
I did ask Larry if he saw his shadow. He said he did not.
In fact, you look at the forecast, and this is exactly why, because rain, clouds, no, didn't see the shadow. That means spring arrives early. In fact, if you look ahead next week, it's going to be in the upper 60s next Wednesday.
See, and Larry, I'm glad that our groundhogs are agreeing on
Yes.
But by the way, quick story. It was 11 years ago. I did a groundhog emceeing event, and they said, "We'll give you this hat as long as you wear it every Groundhog Day." And I gladly
have lived up
to that tradition. And also, hopefully, you like to join me as well because I love watching, of course, now the 30-year anniversary of one of the greatest Bill Murray movies of all time, at least in my opinion.
It's on repeat today.
Just like the song,
in true fashion.
I Got You Made, over and over again. He keeps hearing that.
I'm glad you explained it, but it is very confusing to me. Like, you would think if he saw his shadow and it was sunny, then that would mean spring.
Yeah, you have to go opposite because I
mean, we're going off a rodent.
This is
right. And what did you say, 30-something percent?
39% of the time, this rodent is right.
Melissa said she needs sun, sand, and 90 degrees.
Amen.
I'm with you.
I think Melissa probably a vacation. I don't know if we're going to be getting that soon
the good news,
here.
Larry, you were saying for your forecast, it almost looks like spring is coming early.
Yeah, next week. You know, you look at it and go, well, it's here. Not to say that late February and early March can't be, you know, a whole different situation.
We know how that is. In like a lion, out like a lamb.
Yes.
I like the optimism, though.
Absolutely. Yes.
Especially more than
Spring
that rodent.
is on the way.
I think you need to get Ben in that hat.
It's not going to happen.
0%
and, you know, by the way, after watching your piece, maybe we need a badger here. Maybe that's what we need. Because I mean, by the way, in case you don't know, we had Queen Charlotte here in Charlotte for many years. Was a groundhog over at Discovery Place. She retired last year, and then she passed away last summer. Walter Wally, who was the rodent up in Raleigh, he retired recently. So we don't have a lot of...
The one in Chimney Rock is taking a respite as well.
I saw that, yeah.
We don't have any Carolina... So maybe a badger.
Maybe a badger's one.
We need one specific to the Carolinas because we know our weather is different than other people.
I need to brush up on my Carolina badger knowledge because I do not know much about it. That's how I'm going to spend the rest of my morning.
That's right. Or we just sprinkle out the back door and see if he says
sees
sprinkle.
A shadow.
Yeah, that's right.
Larry the Groundhog has a good ring to
I'm telling you, I think that we might be onto something. I feel like folks in Charlotte would respond to that more than anything.
Right? Let's make it a tradition. Yes.
All right, folks, let us know. Are you ready for spring or are you cool with 6 more weeks of winter?
No. Who is cool with 6 more weeks of winter?
Right. Some people out there, maybe.
That's
all right. See you back here tomorrow for another edition of Wake Up Charlotte to Go.